Good morning, everyone. It should be Tuesday, March 28th. And today we are going to be reviewing function. And a function, if you remember correctly, is what goes in, the same must come out. Now, to remind you about a while ago when we first started learning about function, we used my magic pot. Do you remember that pot? When I put something in, something magically came out. And when I started, I put 1 in and 2 came out. And then sometimes I put 3 in and 3 came out. But the number one thing we learned is whatever came in had to come out. The rule never changed. It has to be the same. So we're going to start off today by reviewing exactly how do we look at numbers and tell whether or not we have a function. Again, this is a review. We've done this before, but I want to go over and teach you and remind you because it's been so long since we've done that. Now, the very first way they might give you is tables. And if we look at this table, we have to know, is this a function? And remember, the key here is we're always using our x value. We're always using our x value. So I can do this one of two ways. I can look real quickly and see I have a 2, 3, 4, 5. They are always different, so I know it's a function. If the x's are always different, we know it's a function if we look at it that way. Then when we go down to this one, we see that we have 2, 8, 4, 16, 4, 16. Now, this is okay because the 4 is giving me the same answer as 16. However, this here is where we have an issue. The 2 becomes a 10. And remember, what goes in, the same thing must always come out. It's kind of like our soda machine example we learned a while ago. If I push a Diet Coke, I want a Diet Coke. If I push a Pepsi, I want a Pepsi. If I push a Dr. Pepper, I don't want to see a Sprite come out. So remember, this is one way to look at tables and making sure the X's are always the same. 2, 8, 4, 16, 4, 16, that's okay. But as soon as that 2 becomes a 10, it's no longer a function. Another way that they might have you look at is looking at input-output tables. And the input-output table is saying that this is a 2 and 10 comes out. And this is a 3 and 17 comes out. And this is a 5 and 11 comes out. And this is a 9 and 11 comes out. They all have different numbers. They all only have one answer, so that would be a function. But if we go down here, we see, this 1 becomes a 2. That's good. This 7 becomes a 6. That's good. This 10 becomes a 6. But wait a second. Didn't that 7 become a 6? That's okay, because I can have 2 Coke buttons on the Coke machine. Here is where the problem is. The 10 also is a 7. That cannot happen. The 10 cannot be a 7 and a 6. So we know right now that is not a function. Up here is a good function. They're all the same answer or all different. There's not this, no x has 2 values. Down here, the x10 has 2 values. It is not a function. They can also give you a problem that looks like points. So we look at this first one. We see this first one, the point is 2, 3, -4, 5, -6, 7, 4, 5, and -8, 2. Now, we do see that 2 numbers have the same y value, but that's okay. All of my x numbers are different, so I know that is a function, yes. But if we look at our number 2 examples, we have 2, -4, we have 2 again, so now we have to check. 2 is 3, 2 is also 6. Can't be. X always has to have the same answer coming out. So this example here is not a function. I hope you guys remember this. Now one more when we look down here. 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3. Yes, all the y's are the same, but that's okay because each x is different. So this is a function. Those are 3 ways we can tell if something is a function. But we also have to remember does anyone remember? The vertical line test. That's right, the vertical line test. That is another way, because sometimes they're going to give you a graph. And if we look at this graph, and we go to this first graph, I can draw a straight line down. It only goes through 1 point. Only goes through 1 point. Only goes through 1 point. Therefore, it is a function. That's right. Now, but if we look at this one, and I draw a line straight down, it goes through 2 points. That is not a function. It goes through 2 points. It is not a function. They will also show you dots and points on the graph. And if we look at points in the graph and we drew a straight line that only went through 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, that line went through 2 points. It is not a function. Please use this video to help you with your worksheet today. Good luck. If you have any questions, watch the video again. Remember, what goes in must come out, and what comes out must be the same every single time. Thank you, guys.